I'm going to have to update the intro because Ricky Saints is the brand new NXT champion. What a moment for Ricky as well, and genuinely a great match. Ricky was victimised by Oba Femi throughout the match. Multiple counter after counter for Oba just to gain momentum again. But the reign of the ruler is over. Ricky Saints is now the NXT champion. Honestly, a great high to end the PLE tonight. Genuinely a fun main event. The announcement we was all expecting. Didn't expect it this early though. Ava announcing tonight in 2 weeks. So October 7th on NXT, it will be Invasion. NXT versus TNA with 2 Survivor Series style matches. One for the men and one for the women. With teams from NXT and TNA to be announced this coming week, gotta keep an eye open for that. Who are the 5 that you would put in Team NXT for both the men and the women? Let me know in the comment section down below. But another match that has already been signed off, it will be Darkstate versus the Hardy Boys. Winner take all. NXT and TNA tag team titles on the line. That will be huge. I saw a lot of confusion online, and to clarify, Ava never announced Trick or Oba or Ricky Saints in a match at Invasion. They might do that, but she didn't announce it. She said that after what happened with Trick and Oba, which is the Invasion we saw last week, everyone will be banned from ringside from the Hardys versus Darkstate. But just look at this graphic. The Invasion logo not changed. NXT versus TNA. I'm excited for this. But with there still being championship ramifications, I can't imagine that Invasion's going to end the friction between NXT and TNA. So I actually think it's just the start. And a point of reference, this is the same Tuesday that will have AEW Title Tuesday. So WWE once again taking it to AEW. So a hilarious botch tonight on NXT. Look at this. All the commentators, the ring announcer, all actually outlined there. And, well, Kelly looks a bit different, doesn't she? Because that is Samantha Irvin, who actually doesn't work for WWE anymore. How on earth does that happen? Surely you have these renders of people and they have the person's name attached to them. Like, at the bare minimum, right? Jordynne Evans successful tonight in the first match of No Mercy, defeating Josh Briggs. I actually thought it was a decent match. Undoubtedly an OMG moment. The backflip counter from an avalanche chokeslam by Jordynne looked absolutely insane. Another good highlight match for Jordynne Evans, but yes, once again, the crowd not vibing with Josh Briggs. Crowd chanting multiple times that you can't wrestle, and even a chant to pull your pants up. And I have to mention this. James, shout out to you. You sent this to me on DM, and now I'll never unsee it. He said, if you look at Josh Briggs, doesn't he look like Austin Theory? That's going to haunt me. They should literally just make Josh Briggs like Austin Theory's big brother at this point. Because yes, he does. He looks just like Theory. With Jordynne picking up the win tonight, they referenced it on the show. His next big challenge is Leon Slater at TNA's Bound for Glory for the X Division Championship. I'm so excited to watch this. This is going to be a banger. I honestly can't wait to see it. Jada Parker was the mystery opponent tonight for Sol Ruka and the Speed Championship. This was meant to be Lainey Reed, but we found out just before NXT that Lainey Reed was apparently injured last night in training. I really hated the call by Vic Joseph on commentary when he said, oh, Jada must be the first person to have answered the call from Shawn Michaels. And it's like, why? Surely it should be the most deserving person out there. I thought that call was just really bad. Sol Ruka would go on to retain the Speed Championship. Didn't really get much from the match, to be fair, but it was more palatable than an ordinary Speed match because if you didn't know, a championship match with Speed is 5 minutes, not 3. Slight bit of drama though, as Lash Legend would emerge during the match, and of course she is feuding with Jada Parker, but she'd eat a spear from Zarya tonight. So are we going to do Lash versus Zarya? That could be fun. So NXT has another TNA championship from Victory Road last night. Kalani Jordan won the championship. defeating Lei Ying Lee, the former Xia Li. But if you look here, the referee, Indy Hartwell, who I really want to praise. I thought her facial expressions, having to give the belt to Kalani Jordynne and to NXT, was so well done. Kalani will now defend that championship at Bound for Glory against Indy Hartwell. Jordynne Grace would defeat Blake Monroe tonight. In fact, let me rephrase that. Jordynne Grace survived the weaponized steel cage match tonight. Oh my God, this was absolutely brutal. You know how you have matches in wrestling that you will always go back and watch? For me, this was one of them. We had a bag of diamonds in this match. We had a Boston Crab with the chair as leverage. And yes, Blake Monroe would cut the hair of Jordynne Grace during this match. And I mean, she cut quite a lot of hair from Jordynne's head. We do have to raise the question though. With Jordynne Grace getting a haircut, does that mean when we see her on Tuesday's NXT potentially, she has a whole new look? Maybe, we have to find out. Here's something I didn't expect to be talking about ever. Joe Hendry joining Darkstate? It actually might be a thing. So in an interview after his match on Tuesday's NXT, Joe Hendry would once again run into Darkstate, who said, like, you're either with us or you're against us, which basically means you're against us, right? Well, Joe Hendry then said, interesting. So is Joe Hendry contemplating joining Darkstate? We've long wondered about Darkstate having a leader of sorts. If that's Joe Hendry, that is a huge plot twist. And I actually don't think a really bad one either. I do think it's interesting because if Joe Hendry was to lead a group like Darkstate, that is a total character change from what we know of Joe Hendry so far. So it will be interesting to see what he can do away from the meme of I believe in and him just popping out of a fridge. Ethan Page retained the North American Championship tonight, defeating Tavion Heights. After the match, though, we'd have Dr. Wagner Jr. show up on the screen, and he wants the North American title. Could we do title for title with AAA? JC Jane would retain the NXT Women's Championship tonight. Totally not the result I was expecting at all. First, it was Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley would screw Lola Vice, but get sent to the back. The match continued. And then this, a mystery person dressed all in black, attacking Lola on the outside would be the big difference maker. Who was it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. My guess is it was implied that it's meant to be Lainey Reed. Whether it was actually Lainey Reed or someone filling in for her, I've got absolutely no idea, but I'm going to assume it will be revealed to be Lainey Reed in the future. I really did expect Lola to win this, so I actually have no idea what's next now for JC Jane. So if you've got any ideas, as always, let me know in the comments section below. You know, I feel like there was actually quite a lot to talk about tonight, so I've got to be quite generous with my score. I'm going to give this a very respectable 9 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, join us on Discord, link in the description. Peace!